To somebody who's never met him, describe him.
Well, I'm only going to talk a little bit about, because I think he should talk about himself, and I don't want to overwhelm him. But he's great. He's very smart. He's open-minded. He's extremely outdoorsy. He's trying to find a job where he can support the environment and be outdoors. And he's very supportive. He's great.
How much does it help that he knows politics? He knows what it is.
Yeah, but he's not, that's also stereotypical. He's not very political, neither am I. He just happens to have had a couple jobs, working in the government, but he's not a political person really at all.
Everybody wondering if there'll be a White House wedding.
I'm wondering myself. I don't know.
Really? You haven't given it any thought
No,
at
I
all?
wish I could, but I want to stay passionate about what I'm focused on, and that's this book. But I'm more excited. I've been living away from him for a year to just be somewhere and figure out, have the next step of our lives. So I'm sorry if that's an anti-romantic comment, but I know the date's probably more important to other people than it is actually to us.
How long have you known he's the one?
Well, he likes to say that I guess I met him in September 3 years ago, and then at Christmas time I said, "Don't you want to marry me?" but I don't know if that's true.
What was it about him? First time you saw him?
Yeah, we were good friends at the beginning, and I did say, he walked in, I said, of course, the cute guy on the campaign has a girlfriend. And that was him. So we just were friends for a while.
Your mom said he proposed in Acadia National Park.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Mom. It's like, gosh. Yes, he did. We were on a hike. We hiked Cadillac Mountain, which is the tallest peak on the northeast. It's supposedly where the sun first hits the United States. We got up at 4 in the morning. We were camped out in a tent, and he woke me up, and he was really excited. And of course, I did not want to go hiking at 4 in the morning. It was freezing, and but we got up and we hiked in the dark for an hour and a half. And then when we got towards the top with the sunrise, he asked me.
Did you know it was coming at that moment?
I had no idea.
Was this the ring on the top of the mountain at sunrise?
This is the ring on the top of the mountain.
It's beautiful.
And it's his great-grandmother's. And then he reset it. He wrote a little letter to me about it.
In a romantic conspiracy, her mom, his mom, and her sister Barbara designed the ring in secret.
So he asked your dad's permission?
Yeah, I guess. They're keeping it pretty secretive. They won't tell me any of the details.
The two of them?
Mm-hmm.
Was he nervous? Do you know that?
I'm sure he was nervous, but he knew what he wanted to say.
Nevertheless, he wasn't just being judged by another set of parents next door.
Who of you is a tougher judge of the boyfriends?
Me. I've got a pretty high standard.
I'm the one with the really high standard.
Who's the toughest judge?
I think they liked all, I think they think, no, I don't know. I think they liked all my boyfriends. I don't know what I'm even talking about. I'm gonna go ahead and stop
I have
there.
to tell you something. Mm-hmm. No parent.
Yeah, likes all the boyfriends. Of course not.
That's
and
right.
I don't even know why I'm talking about all my boyfriends right now.
Right, like you've had this long, exciting history of boyfriends.
And another hurdle Henry Hager mastered, how to be the boyfriend who accepts the close bond of twins. We wondered about her sister Barbara.
And what did Barbara have to say, your sister?
She was so thrilled. She knew first. She helped him with some of the surprises and the plans. I think he's pretty aware that she'll be around a lot. But I did, when I called her, we were both crying, and it's very exciting. But I don't think anything's gonna change. We hang out all the time, the three of us.
If there's one thing you do different from your parents with your own children, it would be?
See, I'm not even there yet, I'm so far off from having kids. But they're fantastic parents. I've learned a lot of what to do.
Again, Jenna Bush says her mission is this, to help UNICEF embolden children in Latin America and the Caribbean to speak up about things like HIV, their need for medicine, and help change the culture of shame. There are brave pioneers like Carol McKay, whose father died of AIDS and who risked speaking out so that other kids would know they weren't alone.
After he died, I started thinking to myself, there must have been like a lot more kids who are just going through what I went through.
Little kids forced to hide their faces, like those who met with us. They say they dream someday they'll be brave enough to speak out too.
Tell me what would happen on your happiest day.
My happiest day is to be like the next champion who go out talk about HIV. Well, my happiest day would be to travel around the world and talk out to children all over the world.
But that's what you're doing. That's right. You're really changing the world. You're only 9.
Yes.
And they think they know the song that will have Americans singing with them.
Let's get together and feel all right.
But it's one thing to show support, another to do it when you're the daughter of the most powerful man in the hemisphere. How does she draw a line between what she can and cannot do? Remember Marie and her request for a visa?
How do you make a decision how you're going to respond?
Well, I mean, I can't go to my dad and ask to get a visa. I mean, that's not in my power. I'm my own person, and I hope to work with people and kids in order to show how people live and ways that they can give back. What Anna wanted her story to do is to change people's lives.
And she says the second part of the mission is to take Anna's story into schools in the United States and remind children here about the bruising effects of intolerance and how a small act of reaching out can help a friend at home or 500 miles away.
This book does not have a tidy ending because it is a work of nonfiction based on a life in progress. Anna is a 17-year-old girl with a lifetime of choices ahead of her.
Let's get together and feel all right.
This book must end, but Anna's story is still being written, this time by her.